I got to be honest with y'all. I've talked about games that don't really matter, but it's been from the Mariners being out of it. It's rare to talk about a game that didn't really have a lot of impact because the Mariners are locking everything up. What is up? What is going on, everybody? Welcome back and welcome into the Seattle Mariners postgame recap. The Mariners defeat the Rockies 6-2 tonight to improve to 90-69 in the season. And you can go ahead and pop another little bottle of champagne because the Seattle Mariners have advanced. They have won the wild card round. They are on to the ALDS. They have clinched a bye. How about that? Did that even feel possible? By the way, as always, you guys can like the video, subscribe if you're new or lurking, and don't forget to comment your thoughts on the team and the game below. I got to clean up some stuff apparently before the postseason begins. We talked about the bye a little bit after, I think it was the homestand when they beat Texas and they swept Tampa. And I think there was someone else in that homestand. I don't remember who. Yeah, it's going to drive me nuts. It was like a 9-1 homestand, wasn't it? Who else did they play? Texas, Tampa, and it's going to drive me nuts. Someone let me know in the comments down below. It's going to eat me up not knowing it. The White Sox. I think it was the White Sox. And I think we mentioned the bye a little bit there because they were like 2 back in Detroit at the time. Then the Mariners kind of struggled. They had that tough road trip in Baltimore and New York and Philly. And the bye just never seemed realistic. And all of a sudden now in the last 2 weeks, it has all happened so fast. That Atlanta game that kind of sparked this, and even Dan, I think Jerry DiPoto pointed to that being the spark, 3 weeks ago. It's just all boom, playoff, boom, division, boom. Now they've got a bye. This team was, Detroit was like the best team in baseball all, spring and summer, and the Mariners passed them. And now the Mariners are the team. They're the first team to clinch a bye, in fact, because Toronto and New York are still battling it out there. So the Mariners are the first team in the American League to clinch a first-round bye. It's just incredible what this team has done. What are we at now? 17 out of 18, 18 out of 19, 90 wins. What an accomplishment for the guys. 90 wins, just incredible to see. Great job by this entire staff, front office, coaching staff, and players to get to 90 wins. Absolutely, really glad to see that number. I know it doesn't matter in like the grand scheme of things, but really cool to see them hit that number. But yeah, the Mariners advance past the wild card round. They are in the division series. We did talk a little bit in the live stream last night. If I had any worries about having the bye, the team's been so hot. Is having the time off going to hurt them? It's a debate that's been going on since byes started in sports, right? Here's the thing. If a team loses that has a bye, it's always brought up, right? Oh, the bye actually hurt them a little bit. But I would venture to say, and I don't know for certain, but I'd be pretty confident in this. If you went through every sport that has a bye, which as far as I know is football and baseball now, the teams with the byes have won more often than they've lost. Because one, they're the better teams. That's why they have a bye. And two, I do think overall the rest is better for the ball club. I get the momentum and wanting to stick with it. And for the record, I don't think anybody in the stream was saying they shouldn't get the bye. Just, do you think it could affect them? And you never know, right? I don't have the crystal ball. Maybe it does, but I think it helps overall. Because, the wild card's not a guarantee. Detroit comes in or something, they throw Scooble game 1 and win that. Now you're up against it. You got to win 2 in a row to advance. It can get very tricky. So this is a good thing. The Mariners, I look at it this way. The Mariners just won the wild card series. So they won it very quickly. They won it much quicker than the other teams. So now they're on to the ALDS. Just incredible. I think it's a good thing. It's going to help Brian Wu get back quicker. I think it's going to help Cal get a little rest. This team's been on fire. And yes, you want to keep the momentum going, but there's no reason coming out of the bye that they can't do that either. That's where it's going to be critical for Dan, Manny Acta, Negron, EY, Perry Hill, Kevin Seitzer, everybody, Danny Farquhar, whoever on this coaching staff. It's going to be so imperative that they keep this team locked in and dialed in and don't let them fall into any lulls. I thought they did a good job today with the lineup. I think they changed some things. I think originally Cal was catching and Polo was DHing, but I'm assuming after Detroit won, they changed it, or my eyes are just deceiving me. I thought they did it right today. Get Cal the DH at bat, see if he can break the record. And we're going to talk about that stupid intentional walk the Rockies did as well. But get Cal the at bats. Julio played early. You got ahead, get him out of the game. Same with Naylor came out. Same with JP. Kind of rotate that a little bit. You don't want him to just not play, because then you are looking at potentially like 12 days off. You don't want that, right? You don't want it to be something where this team hasn't played meaningful baseball in 2 weeks. You want to keep them going. But Dan, I thought, did a fabulous job with it today. get Matt Brash an inning. Like tomorrow you get Munoz an inning. Then you get Spire an inning. Then you can get Bizardo an inning. Just keep them fresh a little bit. I still wouldn't mind Brian Wu throwing like 1 or 2 innings in a game against the Dodgers. Maybe Sunday, Bryce Miller out of the bullpen for an inning. Things like that. Getting Cole Young, and Luke Raley, I think especially some at-bats. Leo Rivas is important. Maybe not Young as much, but Rivas and Luke Raley and Garver too are going to be on the postseason roster. So it's good to get them some ABs so they can stay fresh and be ready to go if they're called upon in the playoffs. I don't think Cole Young will end up being on, but we'll see. Maybe he will. I don't know. We'll talk about the roster when it comes out. Man, that's going to be fun. We're going to do videos about the wild card rounds. We're going to get to talk about the playoff roster. Just so much fun. All the stuff we're going to get to do. I want to be very clear on something. The Rockies have every right to try and win a baseball game. Zero beef with that. They can go to their best relievers. They can do what they need to do. But down 5-0 in the 4th or 5th or in the 3rd, I don't remember. Walking Cal Raleigh, come on, man. Like 5-0, you're down and you're going to walk him. Really? And I don't want to bring teams' records into it because, again, the Rockies have every right to try and win a baseball game. If it was 0-0, okay, like you're in it. You're trying. If it's late in the game and you're down 1-0, fine, right? You're trying to set up, a right-on-right matchup. But down 5-0, you've got a young pitcher on the mound who has not been good this year. Is that a good confidence builder? And listen, I'm not a coach, so you can tell me to go kick rocks. But if I'm the Rockies manager or pitching coach, I'm going out there going, you know what? You're fighting for a spot, right? You're fighting to be on the 2026 team. Go get Cal Raleigh out. Make a statement. Get him out of the game. Like, not get him out, not get him out of the game. Get him out and, you guys know what I mean by that. Get him out. I don't know why I added the game part to it. Go do that, right? Show that. Make an effort. Get their best hitter out. I would want that as a pitcher. Like, it's 5-0. What is walking Cal going to do in that situation? I don't like that at all. If they get Cal out, which they did the rest of the game, then you tip your cap, right? Like, they have every right to try and get him out with their best pitch. These pitchers are trying to make money in the future, trying to do whatever they can to keep their careers going. No problem with that at all. I'm not asking the Rockies to give them meatballs and let them hit 5 home runs. But intentionally walking them down 5-0, I don't know. Like, I'm not going to go as far to say it's Bush League because you're allowed to walk anybody you want. It's within the rules of baseball. I don't like it though. I don't. I think it's kind of like, and I, like I said, I'm not going to bring record into it, but now I will because you did it. You're 43 and 115. What really helped you out, didn't it? Boy, they really came back and won this game by doing that, didn't they? That really pushed them over the top. I don't like it. You can disagree with me. It's fine. It's not that big of a deal. Again, Mariners have everything clinched. I got to focus on other things for a few games. So we'll see. Mariners do still have a chance at the 1 seed. I'm second time recording this video. If I already said this, please, you can just fast forward. They're a game behind the Yankees and the Blue Jays. I don't think they're going to catch either one of them. They both have the tiebreaker. All you need is like the Yankees to win 2 out of 3 from Baltimore, and you have no chance at the 1 series. The Mariners should keep playing it like they've been doing it, getting guys at bats, because you never know. But more than likely, it's going to end up being the 2 seed here. The 2 seed's fine. If Toronto wins the East, I'm fine with the 2 seed. You're going to avoid that Yankees Red Sox pocket in the ALDS. If the Yankees win the East, though, I wouldn't mind if you get to the CS having the home field advantage against the Yankees. But small things, right? Let's get to the ALCS. Let's do that first. Then we'll worry about it. I'll take this Mariners team up against anybody. Emerson Hancock really threw the ball well today. 7 strikeouts in 4 innings. I know it's the Rockies offense that is, not good to say the least. But, I think Hancock did a pretty nice job this year overall. Like, it's not that I think he's great necessarily, but he had some quality starts for the team when they were dealing with the Gilbert, Kirby, and Miller injuries. He gave them a chance to win a lot of baseball games, which they did. And did an overall pretty nice job this year. Today, 4 innings, 2 hits, no runs, no walks, 7 Ks. Again, against a lineup that's not great, but you still got to go out there and pitch. They still have major league hitters. And hopefully this is a nice confidence boost for Emerson Hancock. I don't know if he'll be on the playoff roster. I'm not sure what they'll do with the pitching there. But really nice outing for Emerson Hancock. And his stuff looked really good. So, shout out to Emerson Hancock for getting the job done. today and giving them a little bit of length, right? I know he's moved over to the bullpen, so 4 innings is solid. Vargas goes 2 innings. I'll be honest, I didn't see I was watching mostly Seahawks game, by the way. Shout out Gavin from Up West Sports. We hung out tonight at a Seahawks bar and watched the game. We were also following along with the Mariners game on our phone, so we were watching both for sure. But that was a lot of fun. And by the way, if you're for the Seahawks standpoint, real quick, if you're frustrated, they only won by 3. The only reason that game was even close was because of some terrible calls by the officials. Seattle outplayed Arizona that whole game. So I don't know if all Vargas's hits were necessarily crushed, but 2 innings, 4 hits, 1 run. It was earned, no walks, 2 Ks. Caleb Ferguson ends up getting the win. Because Hancock doesn't go 5, and then it's up to the official score, and they didn't deem Vargas to get the win. So Ferguson goes an inning with a walk, no runs, no strikeouts. Brash with an inning gives up a hit and a walk, does strike out too. Brash, like, it's so weird with Brash. Like, everything you look at the data would tell you Matt Brash is outstanding. There are some moments there, gives up the double, the walk, where I'm like, who do I trust the most out of the big 4? Munoz, Spire, Bizzardo, Brash. Like, I do feel like Brash is kind of 4th on my list a little bit, but then he gets out of it with a couple Ks, and it's like his stuff is so good that Brash is probably your best bet to get out of the toughest situations. So I don't know. Like, I mean, he ends up throwing a shutout inning. I'm probably, again, one thing that's going to happen this final weekend, and maybe it'll just be me. You can say, Jay, nope, that's just you. It's kind of like reaching for things. I don't have a lot to say on this game. So just kind of being like, is Brash ready to go? And then Legumina finishes off. It was a little rough there. A couple hits, a walk, 2 strikeouts, gives up a run. But at that point, just trying to finish up the game and save your other arm. So Legumina gets the job done there. Offensively, 10 hits and 6 walks for the Mariners. Really good to see Randy 2 for 5, 2 RBIs. Randy's been cold. The one guy in this stretch has just not performed very well. Would love to see just a couple game hot streak from Randy to finish it. Cal 0 for 4 with the walk. Really? Julio 0 for 3. Rayleigh 0 for 1 with the walk. Came in for Julio. Josh Naylor, again, solid. Has a double, 2 for 3, 2 runs scored. Good to see them get Naylor out of there. I'd give him a day off. I'd kind of rotate some days off here. I wouldn't have these guys take 3 full days off, but I would rotate a little bit. Very similar to how Dan did it today. Robles came in for him, was 0 for 1. Rayleigh went over to first base. Polanco was 0 for 1. Then Cole Young came in for him, 0 for 2 with the walk. Good to see some at-bats from Cole Young. Gino Suarez with a huge day, 3 for 4. Home run number 49 and 3 RBIs. Gino getting a little hot here. Gino was kind of cold, but had a nice game in Kansas City. It was okay in Houston. Yeah, pretty good in Houston, right? He had the home run, the single to load him up in game 3, and then the big double. And then a home run last night as well. We didn't really talk much about the game last night. It was just about the celebration. And another home run tonight. Crazy that, Gino's probably going to hit 50 home runs on this year. I know they're not all with the Mariners, but the fact that Gino's going to end with 50, with Cal with 60 is just incredible. Those 2 guys alone, and again, let me reiterate, I know Gino didn't hit these all with the Mariners, but let's just say Gino ends with 49. That is 60 and 50s, 110, 109 home runs between Gino and Cal. The 2010 Mariners hit 101 home runs as a team, just to give an idea of how good the power is just from those 2 guys. That doesn't count Julio, Randy, Naylor, Canzone, JP's home runs, or and the few from Garver as well. So good to see Gino get going. Yesterday when I had my wife on, we were talking about guys that we think could have big playoff series and be the guys. She liked Josh Naylor. I think that's a great call. A lot of people in the chat and myself said Dom Canzone. I threw Garver in there as kind of a sneaky one. How about Gino, right? Like, kind of the forgotten guy a little bit. And Gino's been good. He hasn't been Arizona good, but you haven't needed him to be. Everything Gino has done is what you've needed Gino to do. I wouldn't be shocked if we get a little bit of a pretty good Gino streak in the playoffs. Garver 2 for 4 with the run scored. JP was 0 for 1. Then Rivas came in, was 0 for 1 with a couple walks as well. Good to see some at-bats from Rivas and a couple walks as usual. It's so tough because, Leo Rivas should have been the guy over Dylan Moore for a while this season. But I can't blame them for trying to find something, trying to get something out of Demo there before they released him. It doesn't matter now because the Mariners have kind of accomplished everything we've ever dreamed of in the regular season. So I'm not going to nothing to harp on, just talk, right? Just kind of talking about it here. Here we go. 3 games left, 3 probably pretty meaningless baseball games left. I will say this though, soak them in. You have all earned the right to not stress about a Mariners game for a weekend. If you're going to the ballpark, still go. Cheer this team on. Celebrate them. Enjoy. There's still nothing better than the night at the ballpark. I will say that. The Mariners could be 52 and 105, and I would still love a night at the ballpark. Cheer them on. Give them that, because in a week and a half, it's going to be stressful. We are going to be biting the nails. Not saying it's not going to be amazing. It's going to be, but we're going to be pacing, right? Like one ball is like, oh gosh, they threw a ball. It's going to be that type of feeling. So enjoy this. Enjoy this weekend. You deserve it. The team deserves it. They've earned this. They've earned the right to have a weekend where you get to kind of sit back and relax, watch Shohei Ohtani. The Dodgers also clinched the West. So funny, a big potential, maybe even World Series preview is going to end up being pretty meaningless, but Shohei Ohtani. You got Cal. Shouldn't say completely meaningless, because Cal 3 home runs away from the record. If he can hit one each game, he will break Aaron Judge's record. And just enjoy it. We'll see what they do pitching wise. I think Gilbert and Kirby will start. What I would personally do is let them go 4 or 5. If they're at 65, 70 pitches, pull them. Just you don't need to ride them to 85, 90 pitches here, but you don't want them to not play for a couple weeks. I would see if Bryce Miller can give you an inning out of the bullpen. And if he can, I'd maybe see if Brian Wu can go Saturday and throw a couple innings. I don't know. I don't think it'd be the worst idea just to get him, some live action, essentially, before the playoffs. Another thing to soak in is the season's almost 3 games left in this season. Now, it's not 3 games left in our season, but man, it flew by. Weren't we just talking about Randy and Polo on opening day doing what they did? And here we go. We are at the end. And then there's the dance. And the Mariners have not only made the dance, they're at the head table. Now, that table doesn't mean you're going to be prom king or queen. I have no idea if this analogy makes any sense, but they are there. They've maybe got better odds, whatever you want to go with. 90 wins, 3 more to go in the regular season. I'll be here for all 3. We're going to recap them, even if they don't matter all that much. And then the week before, we are going to be talking playoffs. We'll look at the playoff roster. Mariner Sir is going to come on. We're going to look at the wild card series, look at the matchups for the Mariners. We'll kind of look at the playoffs as a whole. Maybe we'll do a live stream for a couple games. Channel members, tomorrow morning, I'll have the contest up. It'll be based on the Saturday, Sunday games. So just be ready for that if you are a channel member for a contest going up this weekend. I may even go live for a little bit tomorrow for channel members. One last stream for you guys. Not one last stream, but for regular season. So we'll end it with a bang. Have a great night, everybody. Soak it in. Just enjoy it. Mariners win. Like, comment, subscribe. And as always, go Mariners. Peace.